Hello, friends. Today is Flexible Friday, and we're going on a special field trip to Disney World. Are you excited? Yes, we've been talking and learning about recycling and reusing and reducing and how we can help Earth, but today we're going to take a break and learn a little bit about Walt Disney. Did you know that Walt Disney, a person, not a Mickey Mouse, made the Disney World and had the idea of making all these fun cartoons and movies that we watch on Disney? So let's learn a little bit about Walt Disney. Walt Disney. I Am Walt Disney by Brad Meltzer, illustrated by Christopher Elipoulos. Ooh, we've all seen this castle. I am Walt Disney. I am Walt Disney. What's your happy place? Mine was this small town in Missouri called Marceline. My family moved here when I was 4 years old. I love the big green fields and weeping willows. There were animals everywhere, and we had every type of apple, including giant Wolf River apples. There was even a railroad that ran through town. We'd fish in the summer and go sledding in the winter. It was the kind of place where neighbors would help each other. It was how the world was supposed to be. It also was where I saw a play called Peter Pan. I can fly, watch this. Soon after, I played Peter Pan in our school play. My older brother Roy ran the ropes too. So he's saying, I can fly. No actor was ever more committed to his role. When I was growing up, our town seemed like paradise. And the very part of it was that my whole family was always around. One uncle was an engineer. Another uncle used to teach me all about plants. That's Missouri Evening Promise. Oh, primrose. And my fancy Aunt Maggie used to bring me great gifts. Here you go, Walter. Something for you to draw in. You're so good at it. You should do it more. Aunt Maggie's encouragement changed my life, especially because my dad didn't really support my drawing. How are you gonna ever make money with that? I don't know, I just like it. When I was 7 years old, I made my first sale. Neighbors bought some of my sketches. But one day, my art got me in a bit of trouble. My parents had gone into town, leaving my sister and me alone. What's the black stuff in the barrel? It's so thick and goopy. Think we can paint with it? Tar. I wonder what tar would do. You sure that's a good idea, Walt? What if it doesn't come off? Oh, it'll come off. Watch this. My tar painting never came off. Years later, when we moved to Kansas City, it was still on the side of our house. My first big art display. That boy should know better. When I was 9, we left Marceline and moved away from the big green fields, the trains, the close-knit community. In Kansas City, life was different. I'd wake up at 3:30 in the morning to deliver newspapers. I'm so tired. I'd get home at 6 a.m. and eat breakfast before school. Still so tired. Then I'd leave school a half hour early every day to pick up the newspaper that had to be delivered each afternoon. So tired. For 6 years, I had that delivery route. I worked so hard, I rarely had any real playtime. Our family needed the money, so I always kept at it. In the winter, the snow would come up to my neck. Still so tired and cold. Oh, Walt had to work so hard. Fortunately, I found friends who understood me. In fifth grade, my neighbor Walt Pfeiffer and I used to perform as Charlie Chaplin. Presenting the two Walts. Oh, you're doing great. Some teachers said I was distracted in class, that I was too much of a dreamer. Walter, pay attention. I spent hours scribbling in the margins of my textbooks, entertaining others by making the pictures move when you flip the pages. Watch this. Wow, super cool. I'll try to find a clip that shows you what Walt is talking about, that he makes the pictures move when you flip the pages. Drawing was my happy place. When someone made a clubhouse, I was the one who decorated it. Oh, we all know that show, Mickey Mouse. Yes, I wonder where Walt thought of that idea. I even decorated the local barber shop. Eventually, I started working for a company that made the advertisements they show before movies. These ads included something that was just starting back then. This is my friend, an artist named Am Walt. He eventually helped me create a character named Mickey Mouse. Who's Mickey Mouse? You'll see. Back then, animated cartoons were brand new. I went to the library to learn more, but there was only one book about them, just one. My first short films were mainly advertisements, but soon I had my own ideas. Watch this. It's about a little girl who can enter her own dreams, a mix of live action and animation. I'm calling it Alice's Wonderland. Oh, friends, have you seen Alice's Wonderland? It's a fun movie. The film seemed like such a good idea. We started our own company. It was a total failure. I'm sorry, Walt. You're out of money. It's time to declare bankruptcy. That means they don't have any more money to make movies. I was 21 years old and so poor. I'd sleep in my office and take baths once a week at the train station. I never let it get me down. Determined as ever, I moved to California. My big break came from this woman, Margaret Winkler, one of the most successful animation distributors in the country. I like your Alice's Wonderland idea. I'd like to order a series. Pretend you're mad. Now pretend you're scared. Now pretend you're sad. Those were Walt's favorite things to do, pretending and creating. He was back in his happy place. This is Roy O. Disney. iWorks came in to help with the animation. Then we took a new name, Walt Disney Studios. We were on our way to our best creation of all, Mortimer Mouse. Mortimer? That's a horrible name. This is what my wife, Lillian. That was her real reaction. The mouse needs a new name. What about Mickey? I like it way better than Mortimer. That's how Mickey Mouse was born, but our first Mickey cartoon didn't sell. He wasn't an immediate success. We didn't give up. So people didn't really like Mickey Mouse in the beginning, but Walt did not give up. Using a bedsheet as a screen, our studio tested a new cartoon and added music. We put the noisy projector outside so it wouldn't interfere. I hid a small band behind the door, and for the very first time in history, the cartoon, it goes with the music. I've never seen anything like this. This is incredible. The word you're looking for is historic. It was historic. That means it's something that's so special that it'll be remembered forever. Steamboat Willie changed the future of animation. So this first movie with Mickey Mouse is called Steamboat Willie. On November 18th, it premiered at the Colony Theater in New York. Did the audience like it? What do you think? Do you think they like it? They're saying, "Wow." But do you want to know the real secret of Mickey's success? Our animators, iWorks, and so many others brought Mickey to life. From the start, people loved our little mouse. They related to him. Oh, look at all these people working so hard to draw Mickey. The world could feel scary, but in Mickey Mouse, audiences found a character who took them to their happy place. Do you friends feel happy when you watch Mickey Mouse shows? It makes me happy. With each film, we worked harder, always trying to improve. See how the artists draw their own expressions into the characters? The more human the character's expressions, the more believable the story is. On top of that, we always search for the perfect voice. That's how I found Clarence Nash, the voice of for Donald Duck. But then people didn't take animation seriously. But we did. Wow. Friends, do you remember how Donald Duck sounds? He sounds so silly. So silly, and I've never heard anything like that. But Walt found that special voice. By 1934, I had one of my biggest ideas ever. Instead of just a short cartoon, we're going to do a full-length movie. It'll have a princess who loves animals and talks to them. And she lives with a wicked stepmother who's jealous of her. But when she escapes into the forest, she finds a family of dwarfs who make everyone laugh. Friends, does that story sound familiar? It's a princess, and she lives with a wicked stepmother. She goes into the forest, she loves the animals, and she lives with the dwarfs named Dirty, Blabby, Puffy, Baldy, Burpy. For 3 hours, I acted out the entire movie, every single part. The only question was, would anyone watch a movie-length cartoon for almost 2 hours? Here we have, what movie is this? We have Snow White, and we have Pinocchio. We have Dumbo. We have Bambi. We have Cinderella and Peter Pan. Do we watch the entire cartoon movie? Yes, and they did as well. Over time, we made more than movies. One Sunday afternoon, I take my daughters to the Griffith Park merry-go-round. This is a merry-go-round. I started studying amusement parks and historic sites. Our plans grew quickly. What do you think he's playing? He was thinking about amusement parks. What do you think he's trying to build? Our goal was to build the happiest place on earth. We called it, what do you think he called it? Disneyland. On opening day, parts of the park ended in the dirt, since we didn't have the money or the time to complete it by then. But to me, Disneyland would never be completed, not as long as there was imagination in the world. Around the same time, we expanded into television, creating shows aimed at the whole family. And of course, we're still making movies. Isn't that right, friends? They're still making fun movies like Frozen. Frozen's a Disney movie, and you guys all know Miss Wang loves Frozen. And what is this? It's Winnie the Pooh. But of all the things I built, one of my very best was this. California Institute of the Arts, a college dedicated to building a community of artists. Today, CalArts trains the next generation of creators in art, design, film, music, theater, and dance. So they made a big college for people who study arts like Walt did. In my life, my best memories came from my childhood. Those were peaceful days, happy days. It wasn't a fantasy land. It was a real place with real people. So, when do you stop being a child? When you stop dreaming, as Peter Pan taught me all those years. Think of the happiest things. This is Walt. at Disneyland or Disney World holding Mickey Mouse. It's the same as having wings. When you have wings, you can go anywhere. Friends, when you go on the virtual field trip, you can also visit this area of the Disney World. Now I want you to think of your happy place. Got it in your heart? I promise you, it will never leave you. It is your own magic kingdom. Our greatest dreams are always a part of us. They nurture us, especially when we nurture them. We can all use some magic in our lives. If you look, it's there. And when you let the magic into your heart, you can fly. I am Walt Disney, and I know that the person who makes dreams come true is you. And here is Walt with his pictures. The end. Friends, Walt did not give up. Walt didn't succeed in the beginning. He had to try again and again, but look what he made. He made Mickey Mouse and so many fun shows for us to watch and movies and Disneyland and Disney World. So today, when you go on the virtual field trip to Disney World, think about how hard Walt worked and think about how you can make your dream come true, because you can if you dream that you could. All right, have a fantastic weekend. Bye, friends.